Hello everybody, this is Di, Antinatalist, and I don't really think up, I don't ponder things to discuss on my channel. The ideas actually come to me, and tonight there's really no sunset. It's kind of overcast, but that's okay because there's less people out here because people usually come to watch the sunset. So anyway, I had a really good idea for a video, and I was watching these two little boys with their father on the beach yesterday, and that's how I got this idea. So this is just another antinatalist version of a discussion that I'm going to talk about. And the discussion is all about losses and how much we endure losses as human beings, and why on earth did human beings continue this species after all of the losses that we endure during our lives. So I was watching the little boys, and, they were active, they were spry. Of course, a little toddler is not going to, exhibit very much pain, if at all. They're active, they can run, they can, there's a little piece of sea glass. I'm looking for sea glass. This is the best time of the evening to look for it. It's kind of tiny, but it's better than nothing. But the amount of losses that we go through as we age is really, really phenomenal. It's astronomical, actually. And the little boys are active. They're comfortable reasonably compared to what they're going to experience when they get older. And our bodies probably start to show a significant decline when we reach about 20. And we are certainly not as agile and, motivated and active as we are when we are toddler. Now, nobody's going to envy toddlerhood because they really don't remember their youth. But a 20-year-old, certainly doesn't have the agility as a 15-year-old. And a 30-year-old doesn't feel like a 20-year-old. And a 40-year-old doesn't feel like a 30-year-old. And a 50-year-old does not feel like a 40-year-old. And so on and so on. And some people, they try to justify, life and aging and decline. And they use the excuse of, well, you have your memories to fall back on. And let me tell you, folks, memories are not enough. You're eating sand again, aren't you, girl? Memories are certainly not enough to keep humanity going. And the fact that we just lose so much over the years, the fact that we lose so much agility and strength and our physical capability. And for some of us, mental and cognitive decline. It can be really, really significant. And I'm really, really sorrowful. Can't pronounce that word. I've had that word has tripped me up before. But oh, there's a good one. There's a good little piece of glass. It's relatively large. I found a green one earlier. I was really, really proud to find. Let me show you. That's kind of a rare piece. But I've done pretty good on this trip. Yeah, good boy. That's a pee-pee. Good boy. there are just so many losses, and I'm not even talking about, monetary losses or, loss of possessions. But there are just so many physical losses, and they start from toddlerhood, because we are never the same again. Our physical being just deteriorates. And some people will try to, defend life and natalism, and they will have this optimism bias, and they'll say, well, think of the good memories that you and your grandmother shared. And that is just simply not going to cut it. Just remembering the good times that you had with somebody that you lost is not enough to make you feel content, or to satisfy your need for a connection, or to bring back a significant loss in your life. But up until now, I really have not pondered the idea of how much physical losses we accumulate and we experience from toddlerhood to old age. And sometimes when I look at younger people, and younger meaning 40, 40 to me is like really, really young. And I see the agility, and I actually compare myself to when I was 40, and I had a lot more endurance and strength and motivation, and I was able to walk, for long periods. Even though I do have flat feet, which my dad, I think, gifted me, I was able to do more things and just with fewer limitations. And earlier today, I took a leave. I don't think it's really helping me, but a lot of people my age are, just reliant on medications or some kind of steroid or some kind of, narcotic. But, I have seen a great decline over the last 10 years in my abilities, my strength, my endurance. And at the end of the day, 10 or 20 years ago, I would not have the pains that I have now. And so it's really, really regrettable, and there's no going back. I'm at an age where it's only going forward. And, I'm not, hey, they found another dead fish. Stop that. Leave it. And, so, hey, leave it. This way. Come on. Oh my, I thought it was I found a dime earlier. Come on, stop it. Leave it. Come on. So, nobody's trying to, come on, this way. Come on. Good girl. Nobody's trying to recover toddlerhood, and they're not even trying to recover their preteens or their teenage years. But certainly when you get to the point of 50 or 60, you see the losses, the great amount of losses. Your body just has, declined and degenerated so much. And the few people that I know who are 70 are very, very, very unhappy. And one of them, is reasonably healthy, and the other one isn't, but they are just totally miserable. And I cannot imagine, how 80-year-olds feel. So our bodies let us down very, very quickly over the years. And probably, I do remember at 30, or about 35, I had a lot less endurance than I did when I was 25. And I used to jog when I was 25, and I used to get shin splints and, arch, I guess they call it fallen arch, but I used to have arch problems, and so those problems are in the past, but new problems take their place. And I don't know why on earth humanity was allowed to continue with just so much anguish and decline and losses. And my purpose is not to, create pessimism, because I'm a realist, and I'm not trying to, make people, feel bad or feel negative. I'm just trying to get people to think and to realize, to quantify the losses that you just take for granted. And pretty much everybody takes for granted the fact that they're going to be, they're going to have bodily, oh, that's a little bitty green one, tiny little green sea glass. So everybody is taking for granted the losses that are sure to come with aging. And, I certainly don't want to be 25, and I certainly don't want to live my life over again. In no shape or form. I would not wish life and existence on anybody. And basically every step of the way was just full of, issues or physical issues, or, one hurdle after another. From the reproductive years to the non-reproductive years, and through the consequences of aging, and inherited and genetic problems. Yeah, those are never, wanted or appreciated. And everybody's going to fall victim to that. So once you are a victim of procreation, you are going to suffer, age, and decline. That spells sad. So I created a bumper sticker that says just that. And I display it proudly on my car. But I'm really, really discouraged that people keep reproducing. And, it's as if they don't have a brain. It's as if the breeder, they call it breeder brain, natalist brain, whatever. They are just looking for the moment, the here and now. They are not looking for, future dilemmas and consequences of existence. And it's just really disheartening for somebody like me, which, I feel like I'm very enlightened, and I have a very realistic approach to life, and I have a very comprehensive approach to life. And so why humanity has been left to, continue reproduction is beyond me. I would love to wake up during my lifetime and realize that every little baby born is infertile, is sterile. Because human beings are not going to cease reproduction on their own. And I doubt nature is going to be doing it for us. So I'm very disheartened that, since I became an active antinatalist, there's no stopping reproduction. And I guess nature is going to have to, destruct humanity some way or another. And it's coming. And it's going to be very, very harsh. But I don't leave a child or children in the wake of such destruction. I left no harm. And even though, I've hurt people along the way, and, sometimes it was unavoidable, and, I'm certainly a flawed human being. I take no accountability for that because I did not ask to be placed here. And just basically, I'm a victim of circumstances, and that circumstances was reproduction. And my parents chose those circumstances for me. I did not choose that. And with a few losses, with the people that I have lost, over time, my grandmother was one that was very, very dear, was very, very special. And the memory of her is simply not enough. And it's not enough for me to be content with existence, nor to encourage existence and procreation, because it's just totally flawed. And I just want you to just realize, and sometimes I can't think of the right words, but I want you to take account of the very losses in your body. And, look at people that are younger than you. Look at people that are 10 years younger. Or, look at a toddler. Look how much that you have lost that you really have not identified with yet. Because once you start opening up your mind and start thinking, about the consequences of aging, it's really significant. It's detrimental. And I'm looking at two dogs right here. One is very young and one is, older. And you can see just the great agility and bounce and spirit. And you can see the other one is complacent and calm and, limited in her actions. So, hey girl, you can just see how things decline, and dogs decline rapidly. Like within 1 or 2 years, this giant breed dog will show decline. And my lab, Summer, I think some of you remember her from years back. She's doing really, really well, but her energy level has really plummeted. She's still an extremely active dog, but she can't go on, for hours and hours like she used to. And the same with humanity. We just lose so much of our body is just lost to the years, lost to the wind. Yeah, Alex's birthday is today, and I'm going to dedicate this video to Alex. And I think he, I spoke to him yesterday, and he really had some disappointments about turning 28. And, I certainly wish I could feel 28 again. Not that I would want to go, go backwards and start all over again. And no way. I would not want to endure anything that life deals everybody. And but he was disappointed, and he didn't really feel, I guess he just sees tragedy up ahead, and tragedy is in store for all of us, every single one of us, and every single one of us is going to meet bodily decline. Now a couple days ago, I saw the Rolling Stones in concert. And I tell you, Mick Jagger, he must be a real human freak, because he is able to take the stage and bounce around and run and, dance. And he is extremely, extremely active. However, that is not normal. That is not common. And, that probably won't be reproduced in another human being. He's very, very agile. Now, he did have a heart issue a while back, so his body is not perfect by any means. But, look around you and look at everybody else who is 78, and Mick Jagger is 78. And they just don't have that kind of energy. So that's very, very rare. But I'm kind of tapering down from this video. There's a pile of rocks. They're really cool rocks on this beach. They're kind of flat. But you know, youth is really, really praised. Everybody loves youth. People love the energy and to watch youthful, like children and babies. And the lure of parenthood is such a trick. It is just so deceiving, because that little baby is going to be declining very, very rapidly. And when you see a toddler active and bouncy and, you know, highly spirited, that comes to a quick end very shortly. And it's sad that all of us will encounter degeneration and, you know, bodily loss. So I'm going to taper off. There's really not much of a sunset today, but I hope this was a peaceful video, and I really hope that you learned something and that I enlightened somebody, and I really hope that I persuade people not to reproduce, or at least not to reproduce any more, you know, innocent lives or victims. We don't need any more victims, human victims of circumstances and victims of procreation. So if you are child-free or childless, you have harmed nobody, and you can leave this world someday with peace, with the eternal peace, knowing that you leave no harm behind, and that you leave no family to grieve behind. And so please do not reproduce, and just think of consequences. And reproduction is, you know, it's a wrong. There's nothing right about it. There's nothing good about it. And for people to have known that everybody ages and suffers and dies, that's just such a reason that humanity should have ceased eons ago. And I'm just totally disgusted that with the knowledge that everybody declines, degenerates, feels pain, suffers, and just, you know, just the foreseeable losses are just incredible. And every generation knew this. My parents knew that I would suffer, age, and die. And their parents knew that. And your parents knew that. And natalists today that are having children and impregnating and, you know, pregnant, they know that their child is going to age and decline. And it is nothing more, children are nothing more than an accessory and entertainment for parents. You're entertaining me right now, aren't you, pretty girl? Just don't get that habit. Just don't do that in the yard. So anyway, your thoughts are always welcomed. And, you know, any other statements regarding losses and declines of our body are certainly welcome. I love your comments. Please subscribe and please share. Please share my content, and also share my channel. You know, anywhere online, I totally welcome that, and it's much appreciated. Thank you for watching.